Welcome to this lesson on capacity and liquid volume. Capacity questions appear regularly on the LANTITE, often set in everyday contexts like filling containers, mixing solutions, or calculating how much liquid is needed. Today we will cover the key units of capacity, how to convert between them, and how to solve practical problems involving liquid volume. Here is our roadmap. We will start with the fundamental units of capacity and their relationships. Then, we will link volume units like cubic centimeters and cubic meters to capacity units. We will practice converting between all of these, then move on to remaining capacity and percentage occupancy problems. Finally, we will tackle LANTITE-style word problems that bring all of these skills together. Capacity measures how much liquid a container can hold. The standard metric units are milliliters, liters, kiloliters, and megaliters. The pattern is beautifully simple. Each step up multiplies by 1,000. 1 liter equals 1,000 milliliters. 1 kiloliter equals 1,000 liters. And 1 megaliter equals 1 million liters. To go from a smaller unit to a larger one, you divide by 1,000. To go from larger to smaller, multiply by 1,000. Here is a critical connection that the LANTITE loves to test. Volume and capacity are directly linked. 1 cubic centimeter equals exactly 1 milliliter. So a box that is 10 centimeters by 10 centimeters by 10 centimeters has a volume of 1,000 cubic centimeters, which is exactly 1 liter. Scaling up, 1 cubic meter equals 1,000 liters, or 1 kiloliter. This link between volume and capacity is essential for solving real-world problems about tanks, pools, and containers. Let's practice some conversions. Part A, 3.5 liters to milliliters. We multiply by 1,000, giving us 3,500 milliliters. Part B, 750 milliliters to liters. We divide by 1,000, giving 0.75 liters. Part C, 4,200 liters to kiloliters. Divide by 1,000 to get 4.2 kiloliters. Part D, 2,500 cubic centimeters to liters. Since 1 cubic centimeter equals 1 milliliter, that is 2,500 milliliters, which is 2.5 liters. Here is a classic remaining capacity problem. A fish tank holds 60 liters and currently contains 45.5 liters. How much more water do we need? This is straightforward subtraction. 60 minus 45.5 equals 14.5 liters. The key is identifying that remaining capacity equals total capacity minus current volume. You will see this pattern in many LANTITE questions: tanks, buckets, swimming pools, and water bottles. Now let's look at occupancy percentages. A school water tank holds 5,000 liters and has 1,250 liters remaining. What percentage is full? We write the current volume as a fraction of the total capacity 125 over 5,000. Then, multiply by 100 to convert to a percentage. 1,250 divided by 5,000 times 100 equals 25%. The tank is 25% full. This type of question appears frequently on the LANTITE. This example combines volume calculation with capacity conversion. A rectangular rainwater tank is 2 meters long, 1.5 meters wide, and 1 meter high. First, we calculate the volume. Length times width times height equals 2 times 1.5 times 1, which is 3 cubic meters. Then we convert to liters using the key fact that 1 cubic meter equals 1,000 liters. So 3 cubic meters is 3,000 liters, or equivalently 3 kiloliters. This is a very common LANTITE pattern, calculating dimensions and then converting to capacity. Let's flag some common mistakes. First, multiplying when you should divide. If you are converting milliliters to liters, you are going to a larger unit, so the number must get smaller. Divide by 1,000 do not multiply. Second, forgetting that 1 cubic centimeter equals 1 milliliter, not 1 liter. Third, confusing cubic meters with cubic centimeters. 1 cubic meter contains 1 million cubic centimeters, not 100 or 1,000. And fourth, mixing units in a calculation. Always convert everything to the same unit before you add, subtract, or compare. Here is a classic LANTITE question. A teacher needs 200 milliliters of paint for each of 28 students. Paint comes in 1.5-liter bottles. How many bottles does she need? First, calculate the total. 200 times 28 equals 5,600 milliliters. Next, convert the bottle size. 1.5 liters is 1,500 milliliters. Divide 5,600 by 1,500 to get 3.73. But you cannot buy part of a bottle, so we must round up to 4 bottles. Always round up when the question asks how many containers you need to buy. This is a very common LANTITE trap. Now it is your turn. Pause the video and try these 6 problems. Problem 1. Convert 4.25 liters to milliliters. Problem 2. A jug holds 2 liters and currently contains 850 milliliters. How many more milliliters can it hold? Problem 3. A container measures 20 centimeters by 15 centimeters by 10 centimeters. What is its capacity in liters? Problem 4. A water tank is 40% full and contains 600 liters. What is the total capacity? Problem 5. Convert 0.005 cubic meters to liters. Problem 6. A recipe uses 350 milliliters of milk per batch. How many full batches can you make from 2 liters? Check your answers on screen. Let's recap the key points. 1 liter equals 1,000 milliliters, and 1 kiloliter equals 1,000 liters. The critical bridge between volume and capacity is that 1 cubic centimeter equals 1 milliliter. 1 cubic meter equals 1,000 liters. Remaining capacity is total capacity minus current volume. To find percentage full, divide the current amount by the total and multiply by 100. And when a question asks how many containers you need, always round up. For the LANTITE, the number 1 tip is to make sure all your units match before you start calculating. Good luck with your practice.